Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And I got this aggressively average content for you today. As guys, we have a live visual of exactly what occurred this very week with the SEC saying they're dropping any and all charges against Ethereum. Ethereum was clearly in bed with the SEC with the conflicts of interest involving Jay Clayton and Joe Lubin, and XRP got the short end of the stick, was left drowning for years, and the XRP army suffered. But quite frankly, the fact that the SEC is no longer going after Ethereum is a good thing overall positively for the crypto space. But we will not forget. We'll always remember how the system treated us. And there will be a moment in time where the XRP army gets its get back. And I believe the floodgates for that are opening in real time, as Brad Garlinghouse from Ripple stated. As many have noticed, and some have already pointed out, there have been numerous misleading and some factually inaccurate headlines describing the decision made by a California judge yesterday in a class action lawsuit about XRP. To be clear, this is a big win. All class action claims in the suit were dismissed, and absolutely nothing in the decision negates or changes the fact that XRP is, in and of itself, not a security. The California ruling dismissed all allegations that Ripple had somehow violated securities laws by selling XRP. And ladies and gentlemen, what's very important for all of you to note is we have a constant stream of FUD misinformation from mainstream crypto headlines because they are Bitcoin maxi news sources, quite literally trying to manipulate you out of XRP because they need more people to sell their Bitcoin to. Bitcoin has passed all-time highs after the BlackRock ETF and want to purport that they are pro-decentralization while simultaneously bending over for the BlackRock ETF and taking it as far up the ass as they can. Oh, my friends, they love Pride Month. You best believe it, because that's exactly what happened. They bent over backwards for the centralizations and the biggest demons in the world. And I hate the self-righteous ideological bullshit. At the end of the day, Ripple has been fighting the good fight for the retail investor to be able to invest in crypto. And here, Brad Garlinghouse talks about how crypto has come together to be a force in the 2024 elections with the Fair Shake Super PAC. Coming together to incentivize politicians to be more pro-crypto. With Trump taking crypto donations and saying he will be a crypto president. And Biden as well beginning to take crypto donations. I'm here to tell you one thing, this bull run for the crypto market will happen 100% guaranteed. And a big part of that is going to be the impact Ripple made. And the impact this crypto super PAC is going to make as well.
Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse said now is a defining moment for crypto, and his group and others are working to play catch up in DC.
This is an industry that has been behind in Washington and really been on the defensive from some, I think, uneducated and sometimes intentionally or not, I'm not sure, but really those who are trying to kill crypto in the United States at a time when we want the U.S. to be one of the financial centers of this next generation technology.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you have to understand why crypto now in the forefront is being antagonized by America while simultaneously being embraced by America. It's because we are heading into a one world order, one world government, one world currency. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Things that used to be the topic of conspiracy are slowly but surely becoming a reality. All of these conspiracy theories, ever since 2020 and the COVID-19 crisis, have simply turned into truth with 6 to 12 months of time in between them. Here, we need to realize that we are in the end stages of the American empire. Because of this, Ray Dalio's book, The Changing World Order, is fulfilling itself in a prophetic way. I would highly recommend you watch The Changing World Order by Ray Dalio YouTube video if you don't have time to read. But quite frankly, one of the most interesting things that continue to occur is that the BRICS nations continue to expand. Earlier this year, new countries were added, including Saudi Arabia, Egypt, the UAE, Iran, Ethiopia. And at the exact same time, now, because Saudi Arabia is openly pivoting away from the petrodollar system and into a more beneficial system to their interests, we are now seeing in the mainstream, quote-unquote, new evidence of Saudi connections to 9/11. Oh, look at how the narratives are building with the randomness. This is what happens when you de-dollarize. They've been sitting on this for 25 years. Ladies and gentlemen, 4 new nations are now officially announcing plans to join the BRICS alliance. Thailand, Malaysia are part of this group, as well as Zimbabwe and Colombia. This is all a global pivot away from the collapsing dollar, and we're going to be left with the bag. The American citizen is going to suffer the most. Our way of living is going down the drain. But absolutely don't pay attention to that. Instead, focus on Pride Month. Focus on the elections. Listen to Sleepy Joe and the 34 felonies Trump now has on his record. That's what's important to America, not the reality we're about to have to face. That's what they want the NPCs to believe. But all of you watching this video will become the new 1% because you're privy to information that they don't want you to listen to. Now, as a lot of you are very well aware of, we have been uncovering the fact that the BRICS nations are quite frankly not just a military alliance, a resource alliance. This is a de-dollarization alliance. In Ray Dalio's book, The Changing World Order, a big, massive part of the fall of the American empire is the warring between nations trying to pivot away from different currencies. Every currency has a lifespan, and the US dollar is at the last legs of its lifespan. That is why we're seeing all the war tensions escalating in real time across the world. China, Taiwan, the Middle East, Russia, Ukraine. What's next? We know there will be political divisiveness right here in the homeland. We have Russian submarines right off the coast of Florida. But while all of this is going on, Ripple and XRP are under every single financial rock you look under. And here, Good Morning Crypto shows a visual of the BRICS payment system and how Ripple has ties to Russia, has ties to India, has its tentacles in Brazil, in China, in South Africa. And there will be some dickhead with the audacity to write in my comment section, this doesn't mean XRP will be used. Self-righteous nerds. Ladies and gentlemen, my frustration with the XRP community at times is that there will be some dickhead that'll try and point out some micro factoid that may be technically incorrect and miss the big picture, while I'm over here deciphering the lizard talk that these reptilians on the global stage want us to believe. We've been looking at all the facts under the hood, all the connection Ripple and XRP have, and they want me to believe that this will end in XRP not being used. Go fuck yourself, quite frankly. There was an interview I posted a couple weeks ago of Luke Belmar with Meow from Jupiter Exchange discussing how you better not destroy the fun in regards to your crypto community. If someone has some wrong information, you politely correct it. But the XRP army doesn't know how to do that because most people are just frustrated because the price hasn't gone up in value. I'm not that guy. I'm El Toro Loco, my friends. And I know there will be a moment where the lights shine so bright because just as we have Tether being quite frankly sacrificed in real time on the global stage, being compared to a Ponzi scheme tied to terrorists and human trafficking, tied with Hamas, China and Russia, and fentanyl supplies, we have the fact that micro-regulations are going live. The fact that Uphold is actively delisting USDT, citing MICA. And you think it's a coincidence that Ripple is launching its stablecoin June, July? You must be out of your fucking minds. Oh no, none of this correlates into the bigger picture. War has nothing to do with crypto, has nothing to do with the dollar, has nothing to do with these regulations, has nothing to do with Tether. Ladies and gentlemen, in real time, we've been predicting Blackswan event after Blackswan event after connections with all these crypto assets. And despite the fact that the price of XRP hasn't appreciated yet, the inevitable outcome will be generational wealth for us. You stay listening to this channel long enough, you might just get rich by accident. But right here, right now, we're cementing our legacies on purpose. As something else I want all of you to know is Bitcoin is too damn high. The stock market is too damn high. Ethereum is too damn high. But remember, with XRP you need to buy low and sell high. We are not at these levels in regards to XRP relative to Bitcoin and Ethereum. XRP still has to catch up. The only thing suppressing XRP's price has been this lawsuit that is about to end. What do you think's gonna happen when the stablecoin for Ripple goes live? While Tether's demise happens and the biggest black swan happen at crypto happens? Guys, I suspect something big to happen, similar to a 2020 style stock market crash. I don't know about you, but when things are a little too high, they need to deflate the bubble in order to reinflate it for the grand finale. It is an election year, just like it was in 2020. They likely need to cut rates at some point, which will trigger the market crash. They'll use some random bullshit event that they caused and give you the problem reaction solution right in front of you. But that's besides the point. We're all ready, and we know exactly what's about to happen. Now, I know a lot of you are probably wondering, hey Bull, didn't you just say we are in a 110% confirmed bull market, but you're also calling for some type of crash black swan event? Yes, both can be true at the same time. I'm long-term bullish on 2024 and 2025, but I also think we could need to see a deflating of the stock and crypto market, specifically Bitcoin and Ethereum, before things change for the better. In regards to XRP, because the price is still so damn low, it might be in its bull run territory right now. We still have to wait and see. But every single one of you, all I say is this: I'm gonna leave you with a 7-minute long video by one of my favorite analysts in the XRP space, Tori Corton, who quite frankly called the last bull market for XRP, noting that it will not hit new all-time highs. And I do a very careful job of presenting analysts in front of you that I think are very accurate. I like giving all of you differing opinions, and I think his is ones you all should value closely. Guys, I leave you today with this message. We are closer than we've ever been before to our generational wealth. And I'll tell you this right now: if you don't want it, leave. If you don't know that it's coming, but I think all of you know that we are in the book of Revelation. Massive tides are shifting. It's almost too predictable. This is the calm before the storm. And this is your last chance to claim your stake before it's too late. My big generational play for the Book of Revelation is XRP. And I can't stress that enough. What are you gonna say when everything's said and done and the history books are written? Will you regret it? Or will you persevere? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bearable Bull here. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. Now I'll be back tomorrow with another video.
The only person that feels something huge is brewing, something big is coming within the financial markets. When you look at Bitcoin, it's at all-time highs. When you look at gold, it's at all-time highs. You look at the S&P and the stock market in general, all-time highs. And within that, there's various internal bubbles, such as AI or NVIDIA in particular. And then you look externally from geopolitical situations, and then you look at potential war escalations and various other things. And then you suddenly realize that the markets are proposing strength, invincibility, and generally enticing people to continue entering and investing. But then externally and beyond that, it's not really reflecting the same level of strength and confidence. And if anything, the news and the mainstream media, not that I consume it too much, but it's generally just representing fear, danger, underlying concerns. And then you look at the markets and it's almost luring people in more and more and more. But when we look back historically at the last financial crisis, in that 2007 window, the S&P took out its all-time high. At that very moment it took out the all-time high, the recession started. Now this raises the question on, is history repeating itself once again? And I believe it is. If we look back at history, the markets never collapse, and a black swan or anything of that nature does not happen when it already looks bad. It happens at the height of euphoria, when everyone believes there is a significant amount of strength and continued upside forever. But the truth is, with the markets entering this super cycle of a euphoric bubble beyond comprehension, which is all inflated off a fabrication, a fairy tale, endless printing of money, a system that does not have longevity and an infinite lifespan, a system that will eventually and intentionally be imploded to bring in a new system, the digitalized system, the fourth industrial revolution. So as we now enter this territory and everyone around you is telling you to buy, hedge against inflation, Bitcoin, whatever it may be, you need to look deeper than that and realize the markets always look the most glamorous they've ever been before they end up the worst they've ever been. And this is generally a very big indication of a recession or some form of crisis or economic collapse that is very likely in the making. And it's never going to be predictable. But the truth is, the predictability comes from the fact it looks so good right now. And everything looks good, but the real world is not reflecting the goodness of what the markets are proposing, if that makes sense. When you enter this phase of unpredictability in terms of how much upside is left and everything is in fresh all-time highs territories, you don't necessarily have the technical tools to base this anymore on how much higher this can go. And this is generally where we enter into guessing territory, where you are essentially gambling and the retail are being lured in to buying these assets at incredibly inflated prices off the illusion and belief that this will continue forever. But we know very well nothing lasts forever. The bear markets don't last forever and the bull markets don't last forever. But the economy as a whole, and especially the stock market, has seen a bull market beyond belief that has continued exceeding expectations and leaving most people mind blown. I am mind blown at how much it has risen. But as we enter this territory where everything is collectively rising to all-time highs together, we must question the authenticity of why this is all happening at once and why we are being lured into these markets with this seemingly a never-ending attractiveness that these assets will rise forever. Now, I've written about this in many books years ago, about the fourth industrial revolution, the transition to a digitalized system, a blockchain-based society, central bank digital currencies, an open, transparent digital ledger where the majority of our current systems will be based upon, that will be controlled by governments and banks, etc. The truth is, there is no such thing as decentralization. This was all a myth to lure people into crypto. And you can see this now from how the narrative transitioned from a decentralized form of payment. And the word decentralized, has quickly transitioned, and now we are celebrating the centralization of crypto. This is part of the psyops, in my opinion, to lure more people in. And now we are seeing that transition from decentralization to people openly pleading and begging for a centralization of cryptocurrencies. And then we look at the ETFs that have just been launched and we realize there isn't that much retail attraction. Or is it possible these ETFs have all conveniently been launched and approved by the SEC, who were hesitant to do this in the first place? They've gone ahead and approved these now as we near all-time high territory, bringing in a whole new wave of exit liquidity. Question worth thinking about. And then we think, okay, if we are going into a digitalized system where there will be automatic taxation, programmable digital currencies and everything else, the current system must die for the new system to be born. Well, the world's elite and the world's wealthiest people, they are not necessarily cash rich. The majority of their wealth is within the stock market in shares. So when you think about this logically, the world's elite and the world's wealthiest people are involved in these stocks and are making an absolute fortune off this. And they are going to be the winners when all is said and done. Yet it is the retail once again that are being lured in and generating this exit liquidity and allowing these world's wealthiest people and elites to slowly but surely exit the game. And they will be left holding this bag from essentially a total economic collapse. And guess who will be the ones that buy at the very bottom when we go into the reset phase? This isn't necessarily a big doomsday post of any way, shape or form, but it was just a topic we discussed on today's live session with the members. And I think it's worth sharing these thoughts and elaborating on this a bit further, because we shouldn't be naive, because the markets are always intended to lead you astray. You are not intended to be a winner within the markets. The goal of the markets is to continuously lead you as herd to slaughter. And we can see this underway once again, where when everything looks this collectively juicy and appetizing to invest in, the question is, what is the ulterior motive behind this? And if you look at this at a deeper level and understand where the world is currently heading, the system must die at some point and there must be a reset. And every single time this has happened, this generally goes underway from when the markets look most favorable. You could use Bitcoin as an example. The 2017 bull market peaked at 20k. No one in their right mind thought it would ever go down again. We saw the same in 2021. The continuous narrative of 100k, 100k, 100k. Yet it's never happened. And now we've liquidated these new all-time highs. Once again, we're seeing some stability. We're seeing price linger. We're seeing gold in similar territory. Everything, in my opinion, is actually looking quite dangerous right now. And the best way to survive these things is to simply have the basic common knowledge and understanding, to not be ignorant, and just understand that this is possible. And things could definitely get very, very bad, especially when a system that has been propped up by endless amounts of printing, which cannot sustain forever, could potentially implode. This is the first time in history that the United States are theoretically under pressure and actually losing the dominance of the US dollar with the BRICS alliance and everything else that's going on. There are numerous factors to consider, not to mention potential war prospects, etc. as well. I just want to send this message just to share some thoughts, see what you guys think as well. I'm generally just wondering if I'm the only one here that is actually concerned about what is currently going on an economic scale.